Hey guys, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you guys. Week 16 is upon us. How did you do this week? Are you in the championship? We're going to talk about also this week. Lots of injuries to talk about. And going forward, who is your guys to pick? We're going to, and also talk a little bit of DFS fantasy right here on the Cameron Savalle Show.
Welcome to the Cameron Savalle Show as Alan Jackson is Snow White Christmas over the world of Merry Christmas, everyone. And the reindeers did not fall off the tree yet. But guys, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to our people over there in our foreign states, our foreign countries. God bless y'all. Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome to the Cameron Savalle Show. Scott and I are here today to tell y'all more about the podcast of the Week 16 edition of the Christmas week. Scott, let's talk about some other things this past week, football-wise. Last week was more of a Justin Herbert last Thursday night. Big day for him.
Yep.
Here's the thing about championships, and we all thought that championships do win, but you gotta have offense to do as well. Who do you think this week, week 16? I think we gotta go week 17 for next week as well, because some of competitors are playing for week 17 as well. Who do you think this week and the next week would be the championship players that you need to win in these next 2 weeks?
Well, Cameron, first of all, how are you feeling, bud? I know you've been stuck with the COVID. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing great, Scott, and everyone. I'm doing fine. I just got over a very COVID-like mild substance of it and systems of it. And last week was about far not as the worst week, but I'm finally eventually feeling a whole lot better. I'm feeling a whole lot better. The second time I took the COVID test, I have another positive. So this next Monday will be a very good day to test, and hopefully that turns out negative, and then everything be back to a sort of normal week for me to get back to work and everything. But other than that, I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot of therapy here at home, doing a lot of baking and stuff like cookies and whatnot, and fruitcakes. I don't know why, Scott. I am turned to a Christmas fanatic guy out for about almost 2 weeks. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, Cameron, we all hope you feel better, recover fast, and get back to work on that.
Yes,
But
sir.
starting off, let's go to who's going to be your guys throughout the rest of the playoffs there. You know. I honestly, I would on QBs. I would start, Justin Herbert for the rest of the season. I will also start, Tom Brady for the rest of the season as well. He's got a little easy schedule coming up there. Honestly, and Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. All those guys, I would start definitely. The people that are struggling right now, like you wouldn't expect, like Ben Roethlisberger. He's been really struggling really bad as of late, even losing to the Cincinnati Bengals. I definitely would watch him. If you got somebody better. And you got Ben Roethlisberger on your bench. He's been struggling the past 3 weeks. So let's say if you have Derek Carr on your bench, they're going to be playing the Jets this week. So you know, if Ben it has a projected, 2 points more than Derek Carr, honestly, I would play Derek Carr this week. I mean, Darren Waller has been phenomenal in the past 3 weeks, going over 100 yards, passing. And, I would definitely would trust him more than Ben Roethlisberger right now. With Juju Smith and Claypool losing steam really fast. It looks like the only person that he's really trusting right now is Deontay Johnson. Um, and then, you got James Conner that's hurt. Big Ben is not looking well right now. Another person you should look at, Josh Allen. Definitely would, he's playing the Patriots this week, but the Patriots hasn't been looking good, and Stephon Gilmore is out for the remaining season. Their corner there, so I would definitely use him this week. I mean, he is just uh, been going off. I definitely would check um, Stephon Diggs. He was questionable. He left early in the game. I mean, he was in a pace to have a 200-yard game. I would definitely check him out this week and just to make sure he's doing okay. Um, you know, going through running backs, I definitely, put your normal starters in. Josh Jacobs, those guys there, Derrick Henry, which I think he's going to be really close to hitting 2,000 yards for the season. Um, Last week, a lot of the uh, NFL, predictors were, he's not going to hit 100 yards. Well, he almost hit 150 yards last week. So I definitely would play him, Dalvin Cook. You're going to see a lot more Alvin Kamara. So, that might, if you have him, you're worried about, using him this week with, you got Michael Thomas out for the season. So definitely use him. You're going to see a lot more. And, DFS guys, I'm going to see, Latavius Murray. You're going to see a little bit more of him on there. Emmanuel Sanders looked great last week. So definitely that's an uptick for him with Michael Thomas being out. So you guys, definitely look on that. Uh, just to let you know, Christian McCaffrey looks like he's not going to be playing week 16. If you have him week 17, guys, definitely just look. If you're in that championship on week 17, see what his status is. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he is out for the season. So if you guys have Le'Veon Bell on your bench, hey, it's Le'Veon Bell time. So he is there. That's why they picked him up, just in case he gets hurt. So and Andy Reid was talking about having him more of the running game. They're going to use the running game and be more of a time sufficient. Um, Definitely, if you guys are on the week 17 type thing, championship, definitely I would look at your starters, just because it's going to be kind of scary if like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, all those guys, um, you know, you need to look and see if they're going to be playing, because there's a slight chance they may not be playing, because they've already clinched their division, they've already clinched their spots, so there's a chance they may not play. So if you're looking for somebody on week 17, possibly maybe this week, make sure these guys are going to play a full game, because you don't want to get stuck and you're like, oh man, they pulled Aaron Rodgers out in the second quarter and I lost because of that. So definitely you want to look for the guys that, you know, who's going to be playing full quarters. So just keep an eye out. If somebody has, they're playing a weak defense and they're like, okay, well, we're pulling these guys out because, we want to save them through the playoffs. Good note. If you have George Kittle on your bench, on your IR bench, he is expected to play this week. So I would definitely check out, Friday, Saturday, see what his stats are, if he had a full practice, but they are expecting him to play. Now, in my opinion, I wouldn't play the guy because your season's already lost. You're not going to the playoffs, but they want him on there. So there's that. Cam, there's some other updates as well. Let me scroll on here real quick. Ezekiel Elliott, he is planning to play this week against the Philadelphia Eagles this week. Jalen Hurts is going to be starting. He had a phenomenal week last week. He was the number one QB for last week, scoring almost 39 fantasy points. So definitely, if you guys are worried that, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, all those guys may not play, and you got Jalen Hurts on your bench, definitely I would play him definitely against the Cowboys this week. And, the remainder of the season. Doesn't look like Carson Wentz is going to play for the rest of the season, and he is not happy right now about that. Also, Nick Mullins from San Francisco, he is done for the season. Raheem Mostert, he is gone as well. Now, the San Francisco 49ers picked Josh Rowan off the Tampa Bay practice squad. So he's going to be a backup. But, if you're desperate for quarterbacks, which I don't think by now you are, but, take a look at him in case you do need a quarterback there. Cam, what do you have anything that you want to add on there?
Scott, actually, in talking about Baker Mayfield, the guy has been tremendously awesome in the second half of the season. He has taken care of business last week, Monday night. They beat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who they won. They played. I forgot who they played, but they are solid. I mean, the team looks good.
Well, they played.
Who now? Was that?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You hear me? Sorry. Yeah, he played the Giants this past Sunday night. Again, he looked great. He's coming on pretty strong right now. He's another guy that they're fighting for a playoff spot. So he more likely he's going to play. I definitely would start him. He's looking great. Him and Jarvis Landry are connecting really well. With Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, you guys are solid with those guys. So they're looking good. They're looking really good.
So Scott, okay,
it's kind of scary right now because Pittsburgh has lost.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Finn.
Go ahead, Cam.
How do you? Fun is a tight end last Sunday, 12 points in fantasy. How do you like my font this week, Scott? He's very useful this past few weeks.
Who is it again?
Font.
Who is it again? I'm sorry.
Font.
Kareem Hunt.
Font.
Kareem Hunt. He's been looking really, really good. Kareem Hunt's been really solid. I definitely, I would use him as a flex 1, flex 2 type of guy. it's always predicted he's going to do like 10 to 12 points, but he always wind out doing more than that on predictions. They use him right. I mean, if they're going over the defense that is a strong run defense, they use Kareem Hunt on the screens and stuff like that. So definitely I would put Kareem Hunt in there on your roster for the remaining of the season.
Yeah, about Tyson Hill, I mean, hey, he's going to be a starter again for this Friday's game against the Vikings. How about that? I mean, Drew Brees played one week, one Sunday, and you bring in Tyson Hill for this Friday. Hey, Louisiana Saints fans are excited about that. Do you agree with that change to Hill?
Yes, I agree. I mean, put Tyson Hill. You've already clinched a spot. You might as well, and this was a test for Drew Brees. If you could, go out there and play. He wasn't 100% yet. He thought he was 100%, but let's rest Drew Brees. Use him in the playoffs. Let him rest for in a couple weeks. Look, he could be the backup of Tyson Hill right now. And if Tyson Hill gets into trouble, they can bring Drew Brees back in, for a few plays, maybe a few series. But there's no sense of him starting, for the rest of the season. And guys, if you have Drew Brees starting, I mean, honestly, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't take that chance. I mean, as of right now, he's not 100%. I was, start Derek Carr, or if you got like, let's say Tua and all those guys, I definitely would start them over Drew Brees right now. I mean, I just don't see him playing a full games, for week 16 and 17.
Yes, and it's about defense, Scott. I mean, you got the Buffalo Bills are like projection to 10. You have Cardinals projection to 8. The defense, I mean, I don't know what defense you want to use this week. I mean, Buffalo Bills is one of them, excuse me. And Cardinals against Denver. Is they playing? Denver. So which defense you want to use to get better leverage, better points than you try to get for your other offensive teams? I mean, really, I know defense wins championships, also in that and also in fantasy as well. But do you think defense in this equation helps you to get more advantage to the next opponent, or you think it would not give you advantage? Just use your
most definitely, Cameron. I mean, you need to start like Miami's defense against Patriots this week. They've been solid. They've been scored on, but yet they still give you that 6 to 8 points that you need. I mean, you don't want to wind up having 1 point or 0 points. So I would, definitely I would start the Bills this week. Again, the Dolphins. I would start Arizona this week as well. And be honest with you, I'm going to tell you guys, you probably need to start the Cowboys this week against Philadelphia. The defense has really come up in the past 4 weeks. They look fantastic against San Francisco. They got Trayvon Diggs back. They're looking really good, and they're going to be playing against Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts is a rusher. And yes, he did score. But I think Cowboys are going to shut down Jalen Hurts this week. But definitely, I would definitely play Dallas Goedert this week. Just the fact that Dallas cannot stop tight ends. I mean, Jordan Reed got a touchdown last week, and but once he got that touchdown, they actually shut down the tight end. So they've been playing strong. They've been playing fast, looking good. So Dallas is my underdog for this week. I think they're gonna shut down Jalen Hurts this week.
You feel confident about the Cowboys defense this past week?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they had 3 turnovers and they turned around and made points out of it. I mean, they scored. So they have been coming really really hard at quarterbacks. In the past couple of weeks, they just got to stop Jalen Hurts. If they stop Jalen Hurts, then they got a good chance advancing. To the playoffs because if they shut down the Giants, they're in. Washington, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to fall off pretty quick with Alex Smith still being out and Dwayne Haskins now not playing this week because after the game, he went to a strip club and there's video of him not wearing a mask. So he's no longer the captain there. So that leaves you with your third string quarterback at Washington, and I just don't see Washington being in it now. So again, it's everybody, the next 2 weeks, week 16, 17. If Cowboys beat Philly, Philly's out. If the Giants win, it's going to be a tough game next week. It's going to be for all the marbles. And if Washington lose out, they're going to be out. And I just don't see Alex Smith coming back in time. So it became really interesting when Dallas won last week against San Francisco.
This is the most weirdest NFL in this year that ever has been, Scott. The last
Yes, it has, Cam.
I mean, here's the thing. We have. I'm gonna tell you this. This is odd. I'm kind of going through my mind here. I'm looking at the standings. You look at between the Chiefs, the Packers, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, and the Seattle Seahawks are all pretty much in the playoffs. Then you have Tennessee, Cleveland, Indy, Rams, and you have Tampa Bay, Miami, Baltimore, and you got Arizona. Now, this is the most bizarre playoffs that people don't understand, that this COVID really did change the platform from no OTAs, no preseason games. There's really nothing. They just didn't really, the players in it really don't know what they're supposed to do. It's like a clear sheet of paper. And now you have mostly your usuals, the Chiefs. I mean, they're always there. And you got the Packers as usual. Aaron Rodgers got rid of Danica Patrick, his soulmate there. I think just keep it just like that. Don't ever get married to Danica and just stay with Mary in a football. I mean, it'd be fine. You got the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, exactly.
You got the Buffalo Bills got their division won. That's great. Pittsburgh, they're kind of falling off the cliff lately. I've been seeing, but they're still in the playoffs. And you got the Saints. Well, they're going to play kind of rough, and then in the playoffs they're going to play their best. And you got the Seahawks, whereas they're going to play not as play good now to the end of the playoffs, where they're going to start shining too. So really, you got pretty much everybody's in the playoffs except for the ones that's in the 6-8, and oh wait a minute, I didn't know the Cowboys are 5-9. So this is where I think the Cowboys are going to be best. They're going to have to win this week and the next to get in the playoffs. If Washington lose their next 2 games.
Correct.
But I don't see that happening.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah. Well, Cam, I do. Like I said, I mean, with Alex Smith still being out,
correct,
and Dwayne Haskins not playing, He's going to
Correct.
be in the COVID protocol. You know, he's not going to be playing this week, so their chances are they're not going to win. So, and then is Dwayne Haskins going to be ready for next week? That's to be determined. And even if Alex Smith is ready, you know, is he going to be 100%? So that's what we got to worry about on that
Right.
on that division.
Okay,
So,
so let's look at all
uh,
the
but
let's see all the play. Let's see all the teams who got eliminated. You got New England eliminated. You got Detroit eliminated. We've been noticed that already. Denver's already eliminated. So
right.
let's look at this. So you got the New York Jets and the Jaguars are playing for that number 1 seed for being for the draft, and you got Cincinnati number 2, number 3.
Well, as of right now,
So as for
well,
right
as of right now, Cam,
right.
the Jaguars are number 1 right now.
Oh, that's
So,
interesting. This
you
will be
know,
interesting down the NFL.
because the Jets won.
Correct.
Yeah. So the Jets won.
Mhm.
So and fans are actually upset because they won. So you know what happens, right?
Yeah, now Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jags. If I expect
So
it.
yeah, I mean, so Trevor Lawrence falls in that category, but there has been rumors. There has been rumors now that Jaguars, you know, if Dak Prescott does not sign with the Cowboys,
Correct.
let's remember,
Right.
if they put another cap on him, he has, you know, he can go out and test the market.
Mhm.
Now the Jaguars are looking at Dak Prescott right now. So
Right.
if he goes, or if the Cowboys decides, okay, we're going to give you Dak Prescott, give me your number 1, which I don't see this happening. But
No.
if it does, here's a scenario. You know, they get that number 1 pick, and Trevor Lawrence goes to the Cowboys. So,
Do you think
do you guys?
Do you think Jerry Jones is like playing poker right now and say, okay, so if Dak Prescott don't take the contract, he don't sign, and we're just going to train him to go take him to Jaguars and let him have a big signed contract where the Jaguars are really needed for a quarterback, because Minshew was okay, but he was not that great. He was not that very good this season. He was hurt. He got hurt thumb.
Right.
Came back, not that great. So if you bring Prescott and that into Jacksonville, and then you got Trevor Lawrence up there, and then high in the number 1 spot, and you got Jerry Jones playing the blackjacks, and he lands a queen, an ace, and a jack. I mean, hey, this guy, he's gonna make by playing some jackpot right in his hand if he has those 3 cards.
So here's some scenario, guy, and let me tell you this. So he could do that, and also the reason why he could do that is so he doesn't pay Dak Prescott that, because if you go get Trevor Lawrence, you don't have to pay him that much, right?
Correct.
So he gets that rookie contract. Here's another scenario could happen. There is a chance that Zeke Elliott could be on the trade block as well. And if you trade him and get some picks off of them, kind of like the Minnesota deal, what they did with, you know, Dorsett and all them, you know, you could have another season like that where they have draft picks. And look, Tony Pollard, he has been looking very well. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns in the game. He had 133 yards of rushing. You know, he's got that zip. He's knocking people over, finding holes. I mean, he's fighting for extra yards. And Zeke right now is just he's like it looks like an old man is running, and he's not. You know, he doesn't have any fire. He's not finding the holes like he is. He keeps saying that's him, but he's trying to fix it. And look, the offensive line has gotten better. Be honest with you, in the past 3 weeks. So and I know he's been playing hurt. And he's not 100%. But it. When were we going to see that Zeke that runs 130 yards, gets scoring multiple touchdowns? Hell, none of the Cowboys made it to the Pro Bowl for the first time in years.
Right.
So these guys are struggling right now to find themselves. Michael Gallup has a hip injury. He's questionable to play this week. So what where does that lie at? And that's something you gotta look at. And
it's got.
Yeah, go ahead.
You there? Hey, you know about Leonard Fournette? He was a starter for the Jaguars, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if Zeke goes out off a limb and gets traded and go to probably, let's say, I'm gonna pick a team out, Scott. Like I don't know, because I know David Montgomery. He's doing good at Chicago Bears. I don't want him to ruin his time there, but I would think a perfect fit for Zeke and with Tua Tagovailoa, other being the Miami Dolphins offense. That'd be perfect for Zeke. I think it'll be a perfect trade for him. And if they get something, and that's saying if Leonard Fournette goes off the train and go off the market, and they might be interested in going to Cowboys, do you think that'd be a perfect fit for him for Leonard Fournette going to the Cowboys?
No, so here's my deal, Cam. I don't see Zeke going to Miami. They're very high on Myles Gaskin right now. Zeke's going to go there, where they're going to pay him, and also, he's going to go to like the Jets. He could be like the Jets or, huh?
I said he can't go to Tennessee because Derrick Henry, he's already a beast over there. So there's really no way for.
Yeah. No, I mean,
no.
You gotta look at where he possibility. He could go to Washington. He could go to the Jets. It'd be more complete if he went to the Bills, stuff like that. Scenarios like that, that they would do. But definitely, like I said, the Cowboys are at that point where are they going to pay Dak Prescott? And if they do, they're going to keep Zeke. If they don't, I see them start trading off their big players. Because they can't get that, they're going to go over that salary cap. You just got to go move forward on from that. And we'll see what after the season's over with, what the Cowboys are going to do. So, with Leonard Fournette, I think his, believe it or not, I know he had a couple good years. I mean, he's been hurt. He kind of reminds me of a Trent Richardson, type thing. He was great at first, and then, he's not. Do I see him being at Tampa Bay anymore? No. Will he'll go to another team? More likely. We just don't know at this point where he's going to wind up. Definitely won't be a Cowboy, but I think he's going to go to another team and go from there. They're pretty happy with Ronell Jones over there in Tampa Bay. We'll see where. So Cam, we're going wide receivers. I don't know if you heard. Justin Jefferson tweeted out this past week. He's very frustrated with Kirk Cousins right now.
Yeah, I kind of heard about that.
He basically said, he's very frustrated with him right now because Kirk has been hesitating to throw the ball lately. Even though, they're scoring touchdowns and Jefferson, has some good 100-yard games, but there were some missed opportunities last week on their game that Justin Jefferson was wide open. And he hesitated and threw it somewhere else. Um, what what do you think is going on in Minnesota right now? I mean, their season's pretty much done.
Correct.
Why is he not? Why is he hesitating over there?
You know what, Scott? I just forgot to tell you that.
And you think Kirk Cousins?
Well, before we talk about Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson did pass Randy Moss rookie all-time yardage last week.
That's
So
correct.
congrats on him. I think between Kurt and Justin, I think it's probably game call or Tom Rouse they use or whatever, and I think he overlooked him. I guess that's what happened. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know you said it was wide open. Probably had a third read. He thought might be a safer throw to the other guy. I think that's what's going on. I guess they got the wrong type of package they had. But I mean, Justin Jefferson was wide open. The few plays they had, he should throw it to him. And I know he was complaining about that, but there's a lot of things I think in Kirk Cousins' mind. He doesn't have that. Like that Joe Burrow 1-2 and throw it to him deep. He's not like Joe Burrow. Kirk Cousins is not like Joe Burrow. He's not like Tom Brady. He's not like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he gets in the pocket. Yes, he can see his player. He can see that one step and he throws to him or it goes down deep. Now, Kirk Cousins, he hesitates. When he was in Washington, Washington team, not the Redskins anymore, but Washington team, he did the same thing as in Washington. He sets about 3 seconds or maybe 4, and he throws to the third or fourth guy. But if you got the guy go deep, throw your first read. Don't throw your third read. Throw your first and second read. But your first and second read will be the main targets. But lots of times, sometimes quarterbacks throw their third read, not to their first and second reads.
Yeah, I absolutely, Cam. I think Kirk Cousins' days may be done at Minnesota.
It's time to replace
I don't. Yeah, they may be searching for a quarterback in the draft. That's one of the reasons why Stephon Diggs left. One of the reasons he just wasn't happy with Kirk Cousins. He's truly happy right now, at Josh Allen, with the Bills organization over there. There's some frustration over there, and Kirk has the ability to have 300-yard and 2+ TD games, but I mean he has really struggled. You got 2 good wide receivers over there, and they really rely a lot on Dalvin Cook on the running game, and to help out Kirk Cousins. But honestly, I mean, they could be really dominant if Kirk Cousins, just quit hesitating and throw the ball. I don't know what's he singing out there. He doesn't get really rushed too much. So, honestly, they should be in a mix in the playoffs right now, but they're not. And his days may be done over there at Minnesota. So definitely, off season, and definitely, check out and see what happens over there if Kirk Cousins is going to, continue to play over there. Now, Cam, on the Philadelphia side, Carson Wentz is really upset right now because he is not starting. And the future over there, he's saying that he should be starting. If he's not going to be starting, he wants to know. But is a possibility that Carson Wentz's days is done in Philadelphia. And I think, this is why they went out and got Jalen Hurts. I mean, he was Alabama's quarterback, and, he proved last Sunday that, he's an NFL quarterback. So definitely something to look out in the offseason over there as well.
Scott,
what are they going to do? I mean, is he going to be –
Scott, you also forgot that Jalen Hurts was an Oklahoma quarterback too. One thing they need to do is
that's correct. He was.
When Carson Wentz, I think it's time for him to get away from Philadelphia. I think he is good. He is a good quarterback, but I think now you get to where I think Kirk Carson Wentz need to go to a different organization. Maybe Philip Rivers might say, "Hello, I'm going. I retire for the year. I might just leave, and maybe Indianapolis might bring Carson Wentz in. There's another maybe." Now Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna be there for like Brett Favre. He'll be just get old and stay grumpy, have long hair, long beard, and just be a old grunchy old Grinch. But that's Aaron Rodgers. He loves football. He ain't gonna retire from Green Bay. He's gonna be there forever. I don't know how long, but that's
look. And I agree with you, Cameron. I mean, look, Philip Rivers. They signed a 1-year deal with him. Right now, they're going to the playoffs. They've been doing well lately. He's been starting to have good chemistry with the wide receivers now. As of late, with T.Y. Hilton with emerging, even though he didn't have a great game last week, I still wouldn't count T.Y. out. But will Philip Rivers stay again? I don't see him return. He does. He wants to play as long as Brady's playing. If they're going to sign him, I think they are. We're going to re-sign him again. He wasn't looking good in the beginning of the season, but now he is. There's no telling what's going to happen with Carson Wentz. He could be traded. They could let him go. But here's the quarterbacks that I'm looking at. That's going to help. Help you out. Like I said, throughout the playoffs and DFS. You definitely once your top ones, like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, until the playoff starts, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts until the playoffs. Those guys right there have been super hot right now. Deshaun Watson, even though before the playoffs starts, those guys are going to get you points. They're going to get you over those 20 points there. I definitely would start them. And that's something we'll talk, we'll talk about, when the playoff starts, who I think is going to be in this role there. So, but this week I would definitely start, wide receiver wise, the Raiders are going to be playing the Jets again. Start Jacobs, start Darren Waller, Nelson Aguilar. Oh, I definitely would start with those guys in LA, or excuse me, Las Vegas. And then on the opposite side, depending who's the quarterback, Jameson Crowder, Perryman, those guys there. So I definitely would start them for sure. But my sleeper for the week, I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's going to be Nelson Aguilar. I think he's going to have a huge game with them. He's a guy that, as of late been hot, but last game, he didn't do too well, but I think he's going to have an explosive game. Their defense just can't cover cover anybody right now, and putting him on the slot as well. I think he's going to have a huge game over there.
Well, Scott, well, that's good. That's good. That's great. That's a good sleeper. Of the week. That's awesome for the week. I tell you what, honestly, I got a quarterback that I think you may not agree with me. You might disagree with me. After the week 16, week 17, Patrick Mahomes ain't gonna do much on week 17. You know that none of these who's already in the playoffs, they ain't gonna do too much at all. They'll probably out for that week 17 and might have their backup starters. But I think Justin Herbert for this week and next week, and I might be wrong. I got Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, because I think Baker Mayfield wants to make sure he's in the playoffs. He want to make sure week 17 that both will making the playoffs. And I think I would not be surprised if Jalen Hurts will come out this week. Maybe give Cowboys some different schemes and give them have a problem on defense. But I think between Jalen Hurts and all those two guys I mentioned, that's gonna make a difference for the week 16 and week 17. And for my receiver, I like Justin Jefferson. Don't get me wrong. I know it's never in the playoffs, but I give criticism to Justin Jefferson. He's going to do fine this week and next week because the playing is the Saints. They're the Saints defense look kind of rough, but I think the biggest thing for wide receiver, I'll tell you what, the Chargers wide receivers last week. Ken Allen was banged up. He was not used as much. But I thought the other two wide receivers for the Chargers, but they were quick, they were fast. So that's my two sleepers right there. The two wide receivers from the Chargers. I don't know their names. I forgot their names from last week Thursday. I should write them down on paper. But they look great. They look fast. They look awesome. And my last one, I give my deepest sleeper is Nelson Aguilar. He's one of the sleepers as well for this week and in the regular season too.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I do want to make a correction. I just say they're going to be playing the Jets. I meant Miami. And I will say Nelson Aguilar will still have a good game. Miami corner as of late. They're not doing as well, but they're still giving you, their defense is still giving you those points there. But definitely, start Nelson Aguilar for the rest of the season there. And Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller, all those guys there, you definitely want to start them on your lineups. So, on that one there. So running backs this week, definitely you should start Derrick Henry. He's playing Green Bay. Their run defense is not good. He should have another 150-yard game on that. Now, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, definitely you want to start them this week, because they're playing the Jets. And I would also again start David Montgomery. They're playing Jacksonville. He should have another monster game. As of late, Jonathan Taylor has been looking really good. He's been going double digits, but he is playing Pittsburgh. He may not have that big game that he's been having, but definitely still want to put him in in your lineup there. DeAndre Swift had another major game last week, against Tennessee. He's been putting double digits since his injury. Definitely looking good. Leonard Fournette, with Ronald Jones being out, he could have another big game this week. He did have, he only had 49 rushing yards, but he did have 2 TDs, and he had 3 catches for 16 yards. So definitely see him having another good week. Austin Eckler playing Denver this week. He should have another monster game. definitely get him. Miles Gaskins off the COVID IR list. If you want him there, he should be good as well. Cam Akers, he's another guy that got hurt last week, and he is ruled out for week 16. So if you have Cam Akers in your lineup, take him out. Maybe try to look for Darnell Henderson or Malcolm Brown. If you need a backup quarterback or backup running back this week. I did mention Raheem Mostert. He should be done for the season. So basically, it's going to be Jerry McKinnon or Tevin Coleman over there. Wilson also got hurt. Don't expect him to see him come back as well. So I did mention Claire's Hilaire. He's doubtful for this week. Guarantee he's not going to play. So it's Le'Veon Bell time over there. Tony Pollard. So with Zeke coming back, Zeke's not going to be 100%. I would use him as a flex 1 or flex 2 for this week. If you need, for DFS fans, he's $6,300 in FanDuel right now. Definitely I would check that out and have him. There's some update news. James Conner did practice fully this week or today. But I definitely would just in case I would make sure he practiced Thursday and Friday and Saturday as well. There is an update. Jeff Wilson Jr. He did practice did not practice Tuesday, but did practice Wednesday. But definitely, if he does play, he's going to be the number 1 back. So definitely check out those guys there.
Okay, Scott. So I just got this 2 hours ago that the Texans met with the former Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis to discuss their current head coaching opening. So is he one of the coaches that they've been talking about for Houston's head coach since since O'Brien got fired?
Yes. So he is the number 1 talks of him coming to Houston. Marvin Lewis, did bring the Bengals to the playoffs while he was coaching. So expect Marvin Lewis to be the next head coach over there. Unless something happens, in the off season. I think he'll be a great fit over there in Houston. So Cam, I'm going to go to wide receivers real quick. There's some injuries that popped up.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill, he was out today. He didn't practice. His absence is worth mentioning after Kansas City wideout was receiving treatment on his hamstring during the first half of Week 15. So watch out for him for Sunday. Look at his status on that. DeAndre Hopkins wasn't present on Wednesday's practice. It's not injury related, so we're not sure what's going on with that. But we'll look onto that. Stephon Diggs took practice on Wednesday. He's looking like we won't know until Thursday, possibly Friday, if he's going to play on Week 16. On that one there, AJ Brown, he was limited in practice today. He wasn't spotted on the open portion of the practice, but did come back in the later of the practice. So, but they, Titans are looking to clear AJ Brown to play for this Sunday. Keenan Allen, he was absent on Wednesday. Basically, he just getting a day off with his. He had a hamstring injury. So expect Jalen Gutton or Tyron Johnson, to have more targets in week 16. If Allen is projected not to play, definitely would look at his stats there. Julio Jones, he worked out Sunday on the sidelines, but did not have an official workout practice, so he's still questionable for Sunday's game. Definitely look at his status there. Terry McLaughlin, he did practice Wednesday. Wasn't a full practice, but he did practice. So definitely check out his status there. Kenny Golladay, I think he's pretty much done for the season. He still hasn't practiced. So guys, at this point, I definitely would not play him. Devontae Parker, if you have him, he wasn't able to suit up, and he's not looking good to practice. But we still have a few more days. But Thursday and Friday, but he does play Saturday, so there's a slight chance that he is not going to play. Deebo Samuels, as of right now, doesn't look like he's going to be able to come back to play the final 2 games of the season. So sit him out. Tyler Boyd, he has a concussion protocol. He didn't practice Wednesday. Look at his status throughout the week. Kiki Kuti, he was limited in practice today. Coach is kind of concerned on him. If the wide receiver can't play, that means Chad Henson will be the number 1 wide receiver if he can't play this week. So Deshaun Watson losing players right and left right now over there. Jameson Crowder was limited in practice, but more likely he's going to probably play. So going from there, that's your wide receivers for the week, guys. So definitely keep an eye out for these guys if they're going to play this week or not. And going real quick with the tight ends, and then we'll go from there with or pick'ems and stuff like that as well. Again, I did mention George Kittle. Looking to come back in week 16 week 16. Expect him to have a welcome back party there, depending on who's a quarterback over there this week. So Jimmy G doesn't look like he's going to be coming back week 16. He could come back for the last game of the season. I wouldn't count it, guys, but we'll see from there. Actually, I don't have Mike Liskey. He's another one that we need to watch. It's a possibility that he might come back out and play this week. But he is dealing with that injury. He was a last-minute scratch from Sunday's game. But I definitely would check out on that one. Hunter Henry, he was illness, but it's not COVID-19 related. But it's something that we need to monitor this week. He could be ready for Sunday. It's a 3:05 game. Definitely check on the status there on Sunday morning and see if he's going to play or not. Other than that, Eric Ebron, he did get hurt on the Pittsburgh game there. He didn't practice Wednesdays, and It's reported to be like it's a serious injury, so it's a possibility that he may not play this week, or the rest of the season there. So definitely keep your eye out on that. So that's your tight end injury update. And what do you got there, buddy?
Well, speaking of the kicker situation, Scott, I got Bass last week, got 12 points, and also I think he's going to do fine again against, depending against Denver. Oh, no, not again. Excuse me, the Patriots this week. It'll be a Monday night game. Kickers wise, I guess you can start. I'm not for sure who's a very decent kicker for your week 16. As I can look through here, it's going to take me a little bit, but I'd say honestly, for me, I think Slay be good. He's a Slay be good, and Fairbairn, be good too as well. So those three kickers as well. As we mentioned earlier, the podcast, as the show started earlier a while ago, we talked about defense is Cardinals, Bills, and I think the third one we can throw it in there is throw like a death wish, but I think you said the Cowboys. I agree with you. I think the Cowboys will be fine this weekend. The thing is a Phillies team that looks very good last weekend. I think it's going to be an interesting weekend for the Cowboys to see if they can still hold on for that third or second spot in the NFC East. That's a weird East, Scott. You get Jalen Hurts in there close to the last 3-4 weeks of the season, and here we go again. We're going from the Eagles were dead, and now they're alive. They have another third or fourth line. Like you can't give them go away. I mean, they're still there. They're still in the hunt for that first spot.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely. I mean, all the.
This is about the toughest.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is about the toughest East or the most weirdest NFC East. It's never going to be done until the final week. Is week 17.
I agree with you, man.
It's not over till it's over, Scott. Like I said, I hope the Cowboys get in. I hope they do to finish out the season. But I don't have their offense has got better, but I don't think their defense can do. I know the defense do fine, but I think it's too late too soon for both. The first spot, but go ahead.
Good. Like I said, man, you're right. The East is weird. Everybody's still in it. It's week 16. You know, if Philadelphia loses, they're done. Okay. But if the Giants, Washington, if they lose and the Cowboys win, it's a 3-way tie for first place. Now, doesn't matter if the Cowboys win on week 17. If Washington wins, that means Washington will still will win the division and will go into playoffs because the Cowboys lost to the Redskins twice this year. The Cowboys need all teams.
You mean the Washington team
for the rest of the season? I'm sorry.
You mean the Washington team?
Yes, I'm sorry. If I said the Redskins, I'm sorry. Is the Washington team has to lose out in order the Cowboys to make it to playoffs. Now, like I said, if Philadelphia loses, they're out. They're done. But if the Giants lose next week, it's going to be in Washington wins or loses. And the Cowboys win. It's going to be a 3-way tie, and the Cowboys and Giants, they're going to for week 17, if Washington loses, it's going to be a division game, and Cowboys play the Giants, So it's a must win for one of those teams. So it's going to be a very interesting scenario on this. And if Dallas does make the playoffs, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be playing against the Rams. Okay. So this is an interesting scenario. If they do, Jared Goff hasn't been playing well as of late, and they played him this season, and and they lost to him. But the Cowboys are coming hot right now. I mean, they're looking good. Can they beat the Rams? I think they can beat the Rams. Now, if they go into the next round, depending on who they play, will they advance? I don't see them advancing, but you never know. I mean, Andy Dalton is starting to look really good. He's coming into a groove. Him connecting with Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, and he didn't do too much with Amari Cooper last week, but he's starting to come to a groove with these guys. The only thing that I'm frustrated with is if Dallas's offense needs to quit doing these screen plays so much. And the offensive line has to give Andy Dalton at least 2 to 3 more seconds so he can go down the field and get, let these wide receivers try to get open. I think they need to play more, post routes. I think they need to play more slots. They give Andy Dalton a chance to throw the ball over there, but it's going to be interesting. And I'm excited for the playoffs. We'll see what it does for us, Cam.
I always think about football and talk about how the Cowboys just played poorly through the second half of the season, and you think about yourself, and you think every Cowboys fan is like a doomsday of a bad turkey day of Thanksgiving, ate their wrong foods, and I guess they got totally drunk that day. And then they got a bad few weeks, and they started coming back alive. And now you're considering that if they in the playoffs, I mean, it could make everybody it'd be like a sweaty time for the fans to make them like, we made it again. Then Jerry Jones gonna be so excited to jump out of his chair, maybe with his Cowboys championship britches on. I don't know. But it'd be kind of weird to see the Cowboys in the playoffs and playing against the Rams. That I think the Rams might have a chance to beat the Cowboys in the first round.
I mean, you're right. I mean, they do have that chance. If Cam Akers is going to be out, it's going to be a different scenario with the Cowboys and the Rams. So we just have to see how it plays out. Are they going to continue that momentum week 16, week 17? And if the offense, if they're going to come up with different schemes. But if I was the Cowboys, I definitely would play Tony Pollard a little bit more and use him a little bit more. Honestly, I would start Tony Pollard over Zeke Elliott right now and use Tony Pollard as a first and second down back and put Zeke Elliott as your third down back and see who wants him more. And it looks like right now Tony Pollard is the guy that wants to play. So I definitely, if I was Cowboys, I would change it up just a little bit so your opposing team doesn't look like they're going to figure out your scheme there.
Yeah, you're right. If the Cowboys in the playoffs, I think all Dallas Cowboys fans will wear their hats backwards and eating barbecue and getting drunk with beer. About
Yeah.
actually extra 30 pack. And I'm not a big Cowboys fan, but I like to see somebody in the win the NFC East outright. I mean, I know everybody had a bad year. Everybody through this COVID. And you see everybody had to change different facilities to go somewhere and play. And now we'll talk about the college football playoffs and all that here in a few minutes. But other than that, though, I think if the Cowboys do it, they can do it. But I would, to me, Scott, if the Cowboys come out, win out of the end, out of the dog pile, and win, it'll be everybody be happy, and nothing didn't really happen. We're in the playoffs. Then no matter what bad, what a percentage of wins we got, percentage of wins and losses. All the fans of Dallas Cowboys, all they want to hear is the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, honestly, I don't want to be on the Cowboy bandwagon too much, but
Right.
they do want to see them in the playoffs, but they don't want to just see the Cowboys going to the playoffs. They want to see them in the Super Bowl. They need to, I just don't think it's their season this year. I don't see it happening. But, in my opinion, they need to go in the draft. They need to go get them some new linemen and work on their defense a little bit more, especially stopping the run game. I think our secondary is good, but the run game is not. We definitely got to evaluate for next season as Cowboys, as a Cowboy fan. So, but we'll talk about that more, when the season ends, and we'll talk about the playoffs and everything. What each team needs to work on that. So.
Yeah, and the Cowboys fans for Scott and Poe would say it's a lot of sweaty hands, a lot of sweaty foreheads. Last week, Poe said he was in the round 2 of the playoffs. Did he make it?
That's correct. He made the championship. So it's him and a buddy of ours. It's going to be pretty close. Between them two. I believe Joe has the upper advantage as of right now, but it's close. It's like, I think 51% for Joe and 49% for Polk. So winning. So it's going to be an interesting week there. So congratulations, Polk, going to the championship round.
Yeah, you know what, Scott? I know Polk is probably right now sleeping real good and know that he's in the championship round, and hopefully I know he's going to be thinking about the game Friday, Vikings and Saints. I think he got one of those players starting for him, but maybe not. Maybe on Sunday. But I'm hoping that Polk wins the big grand prize that he expected to win big this week.
Yeah. So. Good luck to him this week in your championship games, and we'll talk about it again soon. So
yeah, hopefully next week. Hopefully we can hear something good about it. Maybe he just the cash of over $100,000 and shown on our YouTube channel. I mean, yeah.
Well, it's not for that much, but
yeah, I know. I'm just messing around with them, So let's talk about this the Final Four of the playoffs of the championship. I know nobody didn't like it. Nobody didn't like the way it is. Jimbo Fisher was upset about we played 7 games on SEC and we should be the ones playing for the 4th spot. Way how they win is the Notre Dame stayed in the top 4, and all I heard, Scott, from Nick was they made it in the playoffs. And I saw on my Facebook then when he made a message on my phone, I saw 4 tickets and he showed how much they were. I know I would be glad to see a team of mine. My favorite team to go see them in the playoffs, but not go to the stadium and just spend maybe over $2,000. But if you're
Well, hey, well, I'm actually considering. Well, I mean, I do want to see Alabama. I mean, it's a championship game, so it's worth to me. I think it's worth it. You can say, hey, you know what? I was at a championship game for college. Um, you know, as of Notre Dame, should have or should have not make it. I think they should have. I mean, yes, Clemson did win big, but let's remember A&M lost big too this season. So, um, you know, do I think they need to be in the top four? Yeah, actually, I do think. I don't think Ohio State should be in there.
right.
They only played 6 games, and I know, and I get it. I know they've been through some COVID stuff there, but A&M deserves to be on top of there. And to me, I think Ohio State should have, got dropped off. So, that's it's a touchy subject with me with college rankings and stuff like that. I get it, but I believe I'm with Jimbo Fisher. I think they should have been in there. I think they should have took over the number 3 slot over Ohio State.
Right. And basically what they should have done, since it was a COVID thing, that everybody would never play like more than 10 games or less than 10 games. What they should have got is like at least an 8-team playoff, whereas maybe 4 teams going in the playoffs this year, and just let it be an 8-team playoff, whereas you have A&M, you have Cincinnati, where Cincinnati was just a team that you never think about being 10-0, 7-0, whatever, and you have these other
Exactly.
behind. Well, then if you make these other bowl games like these the New Year's Six Bowls and make them as the playoff games, well, there you go. I mean, then you can show who is the best out of all the 8 teams to go in that.
I agree with you.
To playoffs.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you, Cameron. I mean, I agree they should have an 8-game playoff and
just for this
go
year,
from there. But yeah, I mean, until this COVID thing crap is over with, they need to start thinking about that. For next season, if this is going to continue, like this, it's just not fair for those teams, like you said, A&M, Cincinnati, all those guys. They deserve to have a chance to be up there. Is it fair to a team that played all their games and then only half the team that, this team only played half their games for the season, they get to be up there? To me, I don't think it's right. Let's have an 8-game playoffs and do it that way. And honestly, I think they need to do that from now on, but they're never going to do it. They barely did this 4-game playoff thing. So who knows? I don't know. Just good luck to the teams that, that made it. And, let's have a good football bowl games.
Okay, Scott. So since you've been noticing that the Rose Bowl has moved to Arlington, Texas, and
correct.
I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming that Nick showed me he was going to Arlington this coming week, January 1st. And he is so excited about it. I guess he's going to wear his Irish green suit with a green tie and a green top hat. And I guess he's gonna be one of those leprechauns out there on the field and dance.
Hey, you know what? If
with the German cigar,
I would have paid to. Hey, I would have paid to see him out there. He's got to dye his hair green though.
Oh. Yeah. Go ahead.
He's gotta dye his hair green.
There you go. I thought about something that was hair green, but I think he's not going to do that. I think he's not going to do that.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
The only thing I always ask him is like, do you going to do your hair green? Are you going to do your hair orange? That ain't never been any question yet, but
Who knows? So
Well,
Cam, who's gonna win this? Is it Alabama or is it gonna be Notre Dame's gonna win this?
you know,
Let's remember Notre Dame and Alabama does not have a defense, so it's going to be a high scoring game.
yes.
So
Well, Scott, do you remember?
who do you think is going to run away with this?
Well, Scott, remember the old saying goes that you were number one and the other guy's not even number one. Like Notre Dame beat Alabama before. They beat them in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl for the playoffs. So, you know who I'm picking? I'm picking.
Yeah, you're going to be picking Alabama.
No, I'm not. Nope. All my picks.
No, you're going with Notre Dame.
I'm going with Notre Dame. I'm picking
Okay.
Notre Dame because of
Notre Dame by what? By how much?
Well, I tell you what, since it's going to be a very high scoring game, I'm not saying it'll be a big high scoring game. I think it's going to be like, that's even the first half to be because everybody's kind of different. Matt Jones might be the Heisman Trophy winner. You got Alabama wide receiver. I forgot his name off my brain, but he's one of the Heisman Trophy candidates too. And you got Notre Dame. Iron Book. I'm saying with Notre Dame. I mean, it's going to be maybe 30, maybe 38 to 31. Notre Dame.
So you're saying that it's going to be a 7-point Notre Dame.
7-point difference. Yes.
So, I'm going to be realistic here.
You're going realistic. Okay.
Alabama. Okay, Alabama. You know what? I'm not. Let's do this. Notre Dame's going to win, but they're going to win by 1 point, and it's going to be the last second of the game.
So we're pulling the old Nick Recchi handkerchief out there and sneeze on the handkerchief and make for a touchdown, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so well, I'm gonna talk. We're all gonna have to talk to Nick Recchi. We're on the Notre Dame train this weekend. I mean next week.
Yep, we're on the Notre Dame train this weekend, and then
I gotta find some green briefs.
So Clemson, huh?
I gotta find some green briefs.
There you go. So Cam, what about Clemson and Ohio State? That's going to be a really, really good game.
This really good game. Last year.
Yeah.
Justin Fields played kind of bad during that Big Ten game. I don't know if you watched that or not. Northwestern gave Ohio State havoc. I like Clemson in this one. Trevor Lawrence is back.
Yeah.
I like Trevor Lawrence in this one. I think Trevor Lawrence will take care of Ohio State. And they're going to be Clemson and Notre Dame. And I think Notre Dame may beat Clemson again twice, 2-1. But, I mean, this is going to be different. I mean, I'm getting tired of Alabama and Clemson. I'm getting tired of all that. But we saw LSU beat Clemson. So you got to go for the underdog. I mean, you got to go for Notre Dame and Clemson. And you got to pick Notre Dame over Clemson.
Yeah, so I agree with you on that. All right. Let's go to NFL games real quick. Let's pick a few and call it a night.
All right, man. Well, my app says good night, see you later, good winnings, and whatnot. But let's talk about this game Friday afternoon, Scott. I know you're excited about this.
Yeah.
The Minnesota
Christmas game
versus the New Orleans Saints. Who do you like in that game though? Christmas Day, Christmas afternoon, everybody's open their presents in the morning or eating their dinner during the afternoon and watching a Saints game. Oh yeah, and I forgot this. I'm having gumbo Christmas Eve and maybe have some for Christmas Day.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, so my pick is going to be. I know you're going to pick the Saints, so I'm picking the Saints too. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a huge game this week. I think Dalvin Cook is also going to have a big game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kirk Cousins is going to struggle with Marshawn Lattimore. So I'm going with the Saints on that one.
Okay, Scott, so get this ready here. I don't know if you want to have a good time with this and whatnot, but the 26th on Saturday, we have a lot of football games this weekend.
Yep.
You might have to get your barbecue, your chops, wherever you're ready for. You got 3 games on Saturday. We're going to pick one out of 3 on Saturday.
Okay. What we got?
49ers, Cardinals. What you got?
So I'm going to go with the Cardinals on that game. D Hops is going to have a great game. I just don't think Richard Sherman's going to cover him well. He's been looking kind of old and kind of slow lately. So definitely going to have him. He's going to have a good game on that one. I think he's going to have over 100 yards this week. So expect him to have a good game. Looks like the excuse me, the little man, Kyle Murray, bounced back last week. He had over 34 fantasy points against Philadelphia. It was a shootout over there. Expect to have another shootout on the other side. Definitely, I definitely would pick Ayu. The Cardinals go man to man. So I see him and Bourne probably have a good game if Berthanat throws well in that game. They should have good games on that. If Wilson is playing, I would expect him not to have a good rushing game, but a good passing game. So keep an eye out on that if he's going to play.
Okay, Scott. So, Kyler Murray, yes, I know everybody makes fun of the little guy. I mean, he got a little fro and small little body and goes between the big guys. I understand he's short. He's like 5'4". I know. I mean, if I was a short guy like him, I would have a big fro and big muscles in my legs and just go fast. That's me.
Yeah, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to run on San Francisco, and he's just going to make them look silly. I mean, honestly.
Right. Okay. So Scott, I know you're gonna be watching the game on Sunday. I know you're gonna be sweating and tears and whatnot, and maybe throw a popcorn on the TV. I don't know what you're gonna be doing, but we just hope and believe that the Panthers will beat the Washington team. Correct.
That's correct. So, if like I said, all depends who's going to be the quarterback. I'm sorry.
Washington's favored by 2, 2.5.
Yeah, I just don't see them winning. I mean, I'm sorry. You're going with your third string quarterback. I couldn't tell you who their third string quarterback is right now. I just don't see them. They're going to have to rely on their running game, and with Gibson, possibly still being out. I just, the only person looks great over there right now is Logan Thomas, and the quarterback probably going to be thrown to him. But as of right now, I mean, I just don't see Washington winning this game over here. Expect Mike Davis to run on them. I know their defense is stacked tough over there. I just Carolina has a little bit more weapons. They got Teddy Bridgewater over there, and he's doing okay. It's just I just don't see Washington doing anything over there. I mean, as of right now, Alex Smith was limited. They don't even think he's going to play this week. I mean, I really don't know who their backup quarterback is. I mean, other than Dwayne Haskins. So, um, you know, I just see Carolina winning that game.
Oh, Eagles, Cowboys. This is gonna be for I think third. I think. All you have to do is beat either one. These two got to beat each other. Either one goes on and still alive in the playoffs, or one will go home. So, Eagles, Cowboys, Scott. I know you pick the Cowboys, so I'm saying on the. I don't know. It's gonna be a good game. That's all I know.
It is going to be a good game. I mean, be honest with you, I just think the Cowboys are just going to stop their if they can stop Miles Sanders over there, they should be good. They can stop their wide receiver cores over there. If they can limit Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz over there, they should be fine. So, but yeah, I mean that's it. I mean that's all I got for you right there.
All right, one night of the game. That'd be probably the end of the Monday night games. There's the Bills versus Patriots. Taking the Bills over the Patriots because the Patriots are not the same this year with Cam Newton or without Cam Newton. Scott, who you like in this one? I bet the Bills on this one.
I mean, I got the Bills too, Cameron. I mean, they're just they're just dominating right now. I expect Josh Allen to have another great game. I don't. I mean, honestly, if they're up big and they still have Josh Allen in, I'll be very, very surprised. I thought they were going to take him out last week, but they didn't. They played him. They played him till all the way up to the last drive. Um, you know, he struggled a little bit. The first time they played, but I think they're going to have it's going to be a little bit more success with that, especially again with Stephon Gilmore being out. You're going to have your guys. Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, with those guys there. I mean, they should be. They should win this game, no doubt.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen can run, so
right. So
if they need to, so
Scott, while we're thinking, and I know we talk about NFL, now we get to college bowl games. I know you're not a big fan of bowl games right now this year, but there's a few we can do, and we might leave a few later before we have the big game next week. You know what I mean? So let's do a few, and maybe we might be right. I might be wrong. I missed 2 out of 3. 3 out of 5, not bad. I mean, for a starter. But let's say Hawaii and Houston. Houston. God darn it, what their name is? Shoot. Well, Hawaii and Houston. Who do you like in this bowl game here? Houston or Hawaii?
I'm going to go with Houston on this. They had a real good season this year. Not too sure what's going on Hawaii, but what I've seen of Houston, a couple of games of theirs, I mean they look good. So I picked Houston on this one.
Yeah, and Georgia Southern just beat out. I mean, Georgia Southern just beat out Louisiana Tech 38-3 in the RL Carrier Bowl, and Memphis beat Florida Atlantic, where I guess Lane Kiffin used to coach there, 25-10. Down in this one, this will be a good game. Marshall versus Buffalo. I think that's the first time they play against each other this year in the bowl. Who do you like in this one, Marshall or Buffalo?
I'm going to go with Marshall on that one.
Okay. Are you 100% confident?
Yeah, I'm about 100% confident on that one.
Okay. Well, and we got this one. Now, I know this is not. I know Coastal Carolina should play against UL Lafayette for their Sun Belt Conference, but they both are co-champions because due to COVID. Liberty is a very good team. Is a Liberty Flames. So, is it Liberty come out of a win the bow, or you think Coastal Carolina will beat Liberty?
I'm gonna go with Coastal Carolina on this.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we got this is the last pick of the day, and we might do some next week. Maybe not. We might go down the list. We got the Louisiana Raging Cajuns versus the UT San Antonio Roadrunners. And you know who I'm going with? I'm going with my Raging Cajuns.
Raging Cajuns.
Yes, sir. I like that. I like it. I think this is it. I think that's all we got. All the picks for now. I think most of the bowl games don't even start to like the 26th on Saturday or something like that. Some will pick around mid in the afternoon.
Yep.
So let's do one before then. Time is out. We got Western Kentucky versus Georgia State. Who you got in this game matchup?
I got Western State on this one.
Western Kentucky.
I'm sorry, Western Kentucky. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of the picks tonight, and we'll do some more probably next week before the end of the year is out. But also, we tell everybody Merry Christmas, have a happiest New Year. You might hear us again next week, or you might hear us right after that. Thanks for Scott. Thanks for Poke. Thanks for everyone who's joined this podcast since we started in September. Thanks for all those who served our country. Thank you for those who support this podcast since we first started. And thanks for everyone, especially my mother, that really supported me through this. And thanks for everyone who has. And also, if you like this podcast, go to my Facebook page. On my Facebook time, there's Cameron Sauer Show. Just put a comment. If you want to follow it, just press follow the podcast. It's great. Go on to YouTube. Go on YouTube and also go on iTunes. Go to Spotify. Go to Apple Podcast. Just download, subscribe. It's free. There's nothing you can pay for. I mean, everybody loves free stuff, right? I mean, hey, I like free bananas. But we're all gonna be cheerful for the year. It's a season of giving, guys. I mean, this is Christmas. Supposed to give each one. Thank you for serving our country or all that. Just be nice to those who need this year, because this year has been a really rough year for everyone, including me as well. Through sickness, through a holiday that's been pretty much I like Christmas. I mean, is Jesus born on this day, and celebrate the birth of Jesus there. Scott, you got any final words?
Yeah, you hit it right now on the button there. I want to thank, our military, of course. Thank you for, serving our country and keeping us safe. Again, if it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't be doing this podcast. I also want to thank our police, our essential workers that, who's been out there working hard ever since it started. From the doctors, nurses, paramedics, even the guys, and believe it or not, maybe somebody will laugh, but the retail side of it, the grocery end, those guys are in the front end line too. They're trying to help you guys out too. I know it's the holiday season and everybody is trying to get their, stuff for Christmas, and show a little respect, for these guys. I mean, they're working hard too for you guys. Trying to get you in and out as quickly as possible. The grocery stores, the department, malls and all that, they're working hard for you too as well. I do appreciate everybody listening to our podcast from all, from the United States, from all over the world. Thank you for listening very, very much. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If we're not on next week, we'll definitely be on, for the playoffs. But again, my heart goes out to the families that has lost their members this year through this tragic COVID. My thoughts and prayers to you guys. You guys need to be safe, but also just because you're safe, staying at home doesn't mean you can't have a good time either. Um, you know, be with your family, have a great Christmas, have a great New Year's. Live your life, live your best life today because tomorrow could be too late. So I do, again, appreciate you all guys listening to this. And, we'll talk to y'all soon.
And for that, guys, we thank y'all so much. And also, if you want to listen to this podcast, you like this podcast, just go to the Facebook page also, and just enjoy it. I know we did a lot, and I got to do some updating too on the podcast as well. So Aaron, when I get all this kind of podcast get updated, then everything be back to pretty much where we are right now. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys, and also don't forget, wash your little hands and wear your face mask when you go out because don't get the COVID and make people sick. Don't do that. If you're sick, stay at home, take care of yourself for 14 days, and get tested again and stay healthy. So, you guys, it's me and Scott saying goodbye.
Hey, Cameron, one more thing. Cam, one more thing. You know what's going to help you out with your COVID?
What's that?
Drink some Fireball shots.